Welcome back to Thriving with Ananka. I have very two special guests with me today. Actually, they're my rugby peers, so very, very interesting. I haven't seen Nayeli in a while. I've seen Estela every now and then at campus, but it's super nice to have you both back onto this podcast, talk about life struggles, success, wins, everything all in general. And yeah, so you guys want to introduce yourselves? Nayeli, you can go first.
I'm Nayeli. I'm in my third year at USF and I'm studying psychology and Spanish and children's behavioral health care. And what else? I mean, I don't know. That's it pretty much.
That's good. All right, Estela, you can go.
I'm also in my third year. I'm studying sustainability. Oh, I'm at USF as well. I'm studying sustainability and geographical information systems.
Very
And that's about it.
nice. Do you guys work at all by chance?
Uh,
Go ahead.
um, I did at a ice cream stand.
Nice. Very nice.
And I work at USF Rec
Very nice. But the Tampa one or the St. Pete one?
Tampa.
Really? I think
Yeah.
I've gone in there like once or twice.
Yeah, I'm there like in the mornings and nights mainly because that like works better with my schedule.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. All right, very nice. So, as you guys know, this podcast explores wins, struggles, and lessons, featuring real stories from young individuals like Estelle and Nayeli who are here working towards their success and their goals. If you're figuring things out and need that extra push to get you started, this is definitely for you. It's time to thrive. Let's get into the episode, The Thriving with Ananka. So, a question for both of you. I know we're kind of in our early 20s, kind of navigating college, whether it's self identity, kind of trying to get our careers into place. But what has been probably like the biggest struggle in 2025 so far for you guys?
I think for me, it's probably been like time management. That's always been a struggle of mine, but it's carried over into the new year. Definitely something I'm working on, but just kind of like organizing myself and not like loading too much into my like schedule onto my plate. Because I just get like really excited about like activities and then work and school and like meeting up with friends and stuff, and then all of a sudden I'm just like, oh my god, like I only have so much time to do things in a day, so I get a little overwhelmed with that. But yeah, definitely something I'm working on.
Ooh, okay.
I'd say I also struggle with time management. You know, you just get too excited. You want to hang, and then all of a sudden you can't hang because you have like class or work or something like that. Another thing is just like trying to balance everything that a 20-year-old has to balance, like being away from home, being at school. I broke my hand, so that's also been a little difficult as well. I don't, yeah. Kind of had to change my schedule because of it, but that's all a part of growing up and being 20.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, do you guys feel like, even though you guys have been having like those struggles recently, do you feel like you've been finding ways to like cope? And if so, like how?
I mean, I think the main thing for me is just communicating to like the people in my life that I'm like, okay, like if there is a certain week or a certain day that I am feeling like especially overwhelmed, I'll just be like, hey, like sorry I'm a little out of it, like because sometimes I will forget to do something, or like I don't know, just something will slip my mind, or I'm late, or like this and that. Like there's always collateral to like trying to do everything. It like something will end up like falling apart. And so just being like communicative and like apologetic when that needs to happen. So, you know.
That's awesome. What about
I
you,
would
Estelle?
say, um, I'm navigating it by
It's okay. Take a breather. Take a breather. It's okay.
Okay.
I'd say, you know, hey, what I mean, being really communicative is like super important. And so it's like what I'm navigating, like what I'm having, like how I'm dealing with. I don't know what
I
I'm
keep
saying.
looking at Nayeli. She's making me laugh, bro. She's making me laugh.
I can't.
It's like
Continue. Continue.
the way I cope is I go on a nice long walk. If I'm feeling stressed, if I'm feeling anxious, if I'm feeling paranoid, I go on a nice long walk and really think and like what's that word? Re
Reset.
reset my brain, go over all the things in the day that made me go crazy. And usually after about 6 miles, I feel better.
That's good.
6 miles.
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, I know you guys are like in your third year and everything. I'm assuming like obviously we have midterms coming up, and like I feel like school in general has been getting like I don't know, like I don't know how it is for you guys, but I've been feeling like super like drained out with like school. I don't know if it's the same for you guys. Like, have you guys been feeling that recently? Like, just kind of like exhausted with like school and stuff.
Yes. I feel like this is definitely like right before spring break. It's like big burnout time, kind of like, you're just like trying to finish everything, like midterms, and then like there's projects and stuff, and it's just like a lot, and it's overwhelming. Like I was saying before, like it just gets overwhelming, but yeah.
Yeah, especially with a break coming up, all you're kind of thinking about is, man, I just want to go on break right now. But really, what you have to do is you have to grind and you have to lock in. That's what we have to do, ultimately.
Do you
Log
guys feel
in.
like, do you feel like you ever can truly get a break from like everything? Like, do
I
you guys
mean,
feel like you always have to like go, 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 go because like it's like you're not able to get like give yourself a break because you just have so much going on, if that makes sense.
yeah, I feel like for some reason I have like um and like Estella and I have talked about this before, just like the need to be doing something. Like it doesn't necessarily have to be like work or school related, but like even in like downtime, just like doing something, like an activity, being involved somehow in like something else, so that like I don't know, rest, it just like starts to feel unproductive, which is not like necessarily a healthy mindset, because health is or rest is healthy, but yeah, it's just one of those things, I guess.
Yeah. I think also another thing is like we plan like activities ahead of time to kind of have something to look forward to in between like the school thing. So it's like we have so many exams, but then during the weekend we get to like go on a camping trip. And I'm like, yes. That's going to push me. That's going to push me to grind for that period of time and then we can go camping.
Oh yeah, I mean I love that. I mean honestly, I feel like it's so strange though because like I don't know if you guys gotten this before where like people are like, "Oh, like you're too young to stress." But it's like do you like not know what's like going on around us? And I feel like in their time like being 20 was I would say a little bit easier whereas like in our generation it's a lot harder because we it's almost like that whether it's like academic pressure or like the pressure to do like like the grind or like kind of like the toxic work environment where it's like you kind of have to like what's it called, toxic culture, there we go, like that hustling culture thing where it's like people talk about like doing a lot of things at one time and like burn yourself out, but it's also like you can't sustain that for so long because like you just honestly won't be happy, and I've done that before and it's absolutely horrible because like you lose like love and passion for everything, you're just kind of like a robot after that. So like how do you guys like feel about that? Have you guys ever gotten comments people saying like, oh, like you're in your 20s, like don't stress, but it's like you know
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like what you were saying, like about being so young and like stress, like it doesn't make sense for whatever reason. But I think like our generation is definitely different in a lot of ways from our parents' generation, but I have to imagine, like, even when they were in their 20s, they must have been stressed, like, about school and work and, like, social life, like, just like we are. And I just think it's easy, I'm assuming it's easier, like, at their age to just, like, look at our lives and be like, you're in college, like, this is such a fun time, like, how could you be stressed? But it's like, well, you were in college once too, and like, you were definitely stressed. Like, don't tell me you weren't. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Like, obviously, I'm not like dealing with the same stressors as they are, but like, do they have papers and tests due at 11:59? No. So like, it's different, but it's still stress.
Yeah, I agree with what Nayeli said. It's quite different. I know my parents, they were definitely stressed when they were in college. And also, like, your 20s are such a large transition in your life. Like, from when you're living at home in your teen years to, like, being a real adult in, like, the real world. Because right now, even in college, like, I don't even still feel like a real adult. I'm like, I feel like that starts when I graduate. And that's kind of a scary thought. Like, that kind of stresses me out more.
Mm-hmm. And I think like during those struggles too, like I feel like sometimes like we ask ourselves like, oh, I'm just gonna crash out and just like, oh, like just leave it all to like whatever. But do you guys feel like during like those hard times, whether it's just being a college student or trying to handle and balance like the work life, personal life, have you guys ever had a moment where you felt like giving up? And if so, like what kept you guys going during those hard times?
Do you want to go, Estella?
Um, yeah, I mean, there's definitely been moments where I've been like, I'm gonna drop out. But, but then, like, I usually will take a breather from the work that I have, and I will bribe myself. So I say, like, if you gotta do this homework, and then we can go on like a really long bike ride, or like give myself my own personal rewards for like doing my work. I don't know if that makes any sense. Or like you're gonna get to like go on some really cool trips this summer if you finish out the semester. Things like that.
Yeah, I agree. It definitely helps to have something to look forward to, and like that's what I always tell my parents, like when I'm like in the trenches of like school and everything. I'm just like, why am I doing this? Like sometimes it really does feel pointless, and like you'll go to a class and you're like, I just did not pay attention at all. Like, why am I even here? And then it's just like a whole like downward spiral. But I think like taking a moment to be like, no, like there is a bigger picture. Like there is a reason why I'm here. Like there is a goal at the end of this, and like, I do get breaks in between, and like Estella was saying, like this summer, like think about the summer and think about like the weekend, and like little by little you'll get through it, and then you realize like it actually went by really fast. Like already in my third year I'm like, oh my gosh, I only have 1 year left. Like it's kind of crazy. It is crazy.
I know, like we're literally like the middle of March already.
I know you're graduating this year, right?
Yeah, I graduate in December.
Okay, exciting.
I know, but it's kind of scary because you're kind of like, it's interesting because like like that you're graduating soon. It's almost like it's kind of like high school. Like, you're like, oh, I'm a senior, yay! And like you like graduate high school, but it's like, okay, now what do I do? Because like now you got to figure out like what you want to study, who do you want to be in such little time. I don't know if that's with you guys too. But like that was kind of with me. Like after I graduated high school, like I actually wasn't gonna go to college at all. Like I was like with the headset, like the mindset, like, oh, I'm not gonna go to college and just like figure it out. But I don't know. I feel like we're all just figuring it out. You know what I mean? Like even when I graduate, I'm just gonna be like, okay, like might take some time off to like enjoy myself a little bit as like a reward, like you guys said, because kind of like pushing through the entire semester, the entire last 4 years of college, But I think we're all pretty much still trying to figure it out. I don't know if you guys also feel the same way. You're kind of just like figuring life out as you go.
Yeah, definitely. Especially like I think people love to ask, like, it's a valid question, like, what are you doing after college, and like what are your plans, what are your goals for the future, like super valid. And like there's some people that know and they're like, yeah, like I'm gonna do this, this and that, and like in this order, like I've had this set since I was like 7 years old. But I think most people are just like we'll see what happens, I'm gonna do this, and then this is like my plan B, and like, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I have a hard time like looking really far into the future. Like most of my life I've spent um looking about a week in advance, if that even. So like having kind of this big thing where like I have to think about months in advance, like what internships I'm trying to get, or like even years in advance, like where am I gonna be after college ends. So I don't know, figuring that out also, like learning that, coming over that curve.
And like, have you guys have been thinking about what you're gonna do after college?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, always like was thinking about that pretty much going into college, like kind of what's the end goal here. Um, I think like my immediate plan going out of college is gonna be to go to graduate school and then become a therapist, hopefully. So, yeah, we'll see.
My immediate plan, I don't really have one. Honestly, I don't really have an immediate plan. I want to uh, go around, like, I guess whatever job. Like, I think it'd be cool to work in, like, renewable energy and policy work. So I think something along those lines. But directly out of college, I think I want to travel for a while.
That'd be
You
cool.
know what? I can kind of see you guys like backpacking for real.
Yes.
I mean, Nayeli's like a professional.
I know. I always see her stories. I'm like, dang, she's always everywhere. That's so cool.
Yeah, Nayeli's like a professional.
I haven't done that much backpacking, but I definitely want to. Stella and I were talking about doing like the Appalachian Trail or something like that.
Which we're gonna do that.
we're
That's
we're
so
gonna do.
epic.
We're gonna do it. Don't
It's just a
worry.
matter of time.
Yeah.
You guys have to like
truly.
vlog that, like document it. That'd be so cool.
Yes.
Hey guys, hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back on the Appalachian Trail. It just rained, but it's
It
okay.
just rained. We just almost drowned in a waterfall,
In a
and
waterfall.
we're back. We're surviving.
They had to pick us up on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Is that the one where like people like when they sleep at night they hear sounds and stuff?
Oh, okay.
You guys didn't hear
Sounds?
that on TikTok?
Oh, is it like those like Appalachian like?
Oh, the Appalachian
Yeah, like when you sleep in like the cabin or whatever.
little ghosties.
Yeah, I know what you're
Yeah,
talking
it
about.
happens,
Right,
like,
and people are like, don't like yell out to them.
yeah, or like keep your
If I
doors
hear a
locked
noise,
and
no,
your windows closed.
one time, actually, can I go off on a story or no?
No, yeah, yeah, of course, of course.
Okay. One time, Nayeli and I, well, it was with Nayeli, me, and our other friend. And we were camping in North Carolina, and all of a sudden we hear bells, like, outside of our tent. And it's like, ding, 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 ding. And literally all three of us go immediately like this. We freeze because we don't know what's going on. And then all of a sudden,
Do you hear that?
what's going on? What's going on? And then footsteps are like coming up to our campsite, like our tent, and we're like, oh my god, nobody speak, everyone be quiet, like we cannot. This is it. We're done for. We're done for. But turns out it was a Boy Scout group. Because the kid was like, hey, anyone in here? Anyone in here?
It was like this little like prepubescent like teenage child, and he was like, "Hey, there's
And
a
they
tent
were-
over here. Is it our tent?" And like the camp counselor or whatever, he was like, "No, like get back here. That's not our tent." And we just bust out laughing.
That's funny.
So we know how we would react to a strange noise. And it's just to freeze.
Fight or flight or freeze.
Fight or flight or freeze.
Freeze.
Freeze and be quiet. Which I think that's what you're supposed to do. When you hear them in the Appalachian Trail, it's like, you're like,
Because they say to like lock your doors and close the blinds, like the windows.
What if you're in a tent?
Good luck. Good luck.
Put the rain cover on.
Literally, get out of the tent, put the rain cover on. Hell no.
No, it would
No,
be fun.
so
It would
many
be a
people
fun trip for you guys.
backpack the Appalachian Trail. Like, there's so many people on there all the time. Like, guys, trust, we're good.
People get murdered on it too, though, so like,
Oh,
real concern.
you guys
Anyways,
would be okay. Yeah, you guys.
yeah,
Come on, it'd be so cool.
It would be.
it
Cool.
would be, actually. And we would need tips from Anenka on how to like vlog everything,
Yeah.
you know, and edit, because I don't know how to do that.
I can edit like a little bit, but nothing crazy. And then can edit a lot better.
Actually,
Oh,
it's really
yeah.
hard to edit your vlog.
Huh?
If you guys vlog, I would actually edit your vlog.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. Just don't die on me, please. I want you guys to come back alive from your trip.
The photographer always lives, or the what's the saying?
Yeah, the videographer always lives.
Yeah.
So as long as we videotape everything, we're fine
Yeah. Like, we're gonna live.
forever.
Knock on wood. Now I'm scared.
I know. I'm getting a little scared right now.
You guys will be fine. You guys will be fine. I should not have said about the noises.
It's okay. Better to be like aware of these things, you know.
They're not gonna. Actually, never mind.
Just go on TikTok. TikTok.
Yeah.
Okay. What was I saying? Thank you for the story. Very, very insightful. I know we talked about you guys being in your 20s and navigating that, but do you guys feel like it was a lot easier when you guys were younger? Like when you guys were like in your preteen years? How does that, how has like the growth been from, let's say, being 13 to now like in your early 20s? Like how has that process been for you guys?
I'd say I'm quite different. Like compared to 13-year-old Estella, she really did not think about a single repercussion of a single one of her actions. I'm gonna be completely honest. Like I didn't think about anything twice. Didn't even really think about it once. I would just do things. I would do things without thinking at all. And as I've learned and grown up and come to college, that my actions do have consequences. Because even like at the end of high school, like I don't know, I'd just be off. I thought I was indestructible. But you know, I've learned in college through many different experiences that like I do need to think twice about what some things I do, like whether it's like a crazy, I don't know, adventurous thing or like maybe how like my actions might affect others. So that's been like really cool to see that growth and how, you know, I think I've definitely matured even since I was like fresh into college, like 18, which is really cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, agreed. I think hopefully I've done some maturing. I think I have. I mean, middle school and high school versus now is just like it almost feels like two completely different people. But I was very like just carefree, like Estella was saying, like did not think much about like okay, I'm gonna really have to like actually get a job someday and like I just think that doesn't, maybe it's just like an age thing, but that was not like a realization that I was really having at all. It was just kind of one of those things like, yeah, I'll become like an astronaut or something. Like, I'll worry about it later. And then like, you know, all of a sudden I'm applying for college and I'm like, well, what do I actually like? So just kind of like self-discovery. But I feel like that's kind of a continuous thing. Like, you don't ever really like stop like understanding yourself or like changing and developing and like you know the more experiences you have the more you have to like speak on and understand about yourself, so it's a cool experience, this life we live.
It's like a vine. It keeps growing.
Yeah.
Even in the worst conditions, that vine grows.
That vine grows.
We really have been. I mean, we survived COVID. If we survived COVID, we could survive anything at this point. You know what I mean?
True. That was a big,
Yeah.
big test of resiliency for sure.
That was, especially being locked away.
Yeah.
I was like,
Imagine like the children too. The COVID
children.
babies.
the COVID babies. I know. I'm a camp counselor. Well, all my summers, my past 2 summers, and I mean, I've talked to kids who were born in 2020, and it kind of sends me into like an existential crisis because I'm like, oh my gosh, how are you talking right now?
Yeah. Like, how are you a person?
Yeah,
That
like
was yesterday. Like, what do you mean?
right. Like, how are you telling me that you just ate peanut butter and banana for breakfast this morning?
It's crazy.
What was I gonna say? No, that was awesome that you guys shared that. I mean, that's honestly really great that you guys have like seen that progressive growth. And like Nayeli was saying, like we're always still growing. I mean, we really are. I mean, I've seen people like in their 40s that are still like growing and figuring their things out because like I feel like that like constant misconception of like, oh, like when you get to this point in your time, like you're done growing. Yeah, maybe physically you're done growing, but like whether it's like you're mentally or like spiritually growing, like those are always going to be a progressive and consistent stages in your life that like are just going to happen all the time. And so I kind of wanted to ask you guys as well, what has been probably one of the lessons that you learned in your teens that led you, you know, to being in your early 20s? Like what's a lesson that you learned that kind of helped you, I guess, grow into, blossom into a better self?
I think this is something that I'm like still trying to be aware of a lot, and it's hard for me because I'm a people pleaser like to my core. But just realizing and like accepting that, you know, not everybody's gonna like you or the decisions you make or the things that you do or say, and like that's not necessarily like a reflection on who you are like as a person. It's just that you can't possibly make everybody happy. So kind of like having like thinking about that in the decisions that I make has become, it's like just trying to like free myself of the stress of like trying to appease everybody, because ultimately like if you're making a decision for yourself, you can't factor in like everybody else's opinion. Like it just it won't work. Yeah.
I agree with Nayeli, and also like communication. I've had to learn how to like actually talk to people and tell people like how some of the things they do make me feel, or like vice versa, like someone telling me how what they did made what I did made them feel. You know, it's just like, and I know because I'm not used to like so much open communication, especially growing up, because I was pretty just like blah, like that's fine, or like oh whatever. But coming to college, I've learned that it's pretty important.
Yes.
That's been a lot. Thanks for sharing, guys. It's honestly like, honestly, it's really inspiring that you guys are both blossoming into, you know, I guess you could say like a better version of yourselves. I think it's really cool that you guys are, you know, becoming, I guess you could say like a new version of yourself, and you guys are like the same, but like kind of not the same, if that makes sense, because you guys are just growing and learning as you go. And that's kind of what we're all doing, really. I mean, like, there's no perfect person, and like if everybody was perfect, I think the world would just be boring, honestly. So it's okay to like make mistakes, and it's okay to learn those things, but that's why we learn and we move on. So I think it's really cool that you guys are, you know, navigating that. So yeah, that's something to be proud of. So respect to you both.
Yes.
Thanks, girl. You too.
Thanks.
You
I try.
too. You too. I see those Instagram posts.
I try my best. But I kind of also wanted to ask you guys, like, what's been what? Because I know you guys talked about like your struggles, but I think what's been your wins for real? Because I know we talked about like struggles, things you've overcome, but what's been like your actual wins, whether it was this year or last year or just in general?
I
On?
think, go
No,
ahead,
you
go ahead.
go. Go ahead.
Okay. I think a big thing for me, honestly, has just been like getting the job that I have, and like I haven't worked in like I didn't work freshman or sophomore year. And so for me, like this year to get a job and like actually like really enjoy it, it has been like really rewarding and refreshing, and like it's been good for me, I think. And yeah, I don't know. I've really liked it. So yeah.
Um, I'd say one of my wins would be me. One of my wins would be coming to a new school because I'm from Michigan. So honestly, just coming to the school in general, I'd say would be one of my big wins. And just like the community that I've built for myself, like around here, and like all the wonderful, beautiful friends that I've made, I'm really, really happy with. That's a big win. And also, yeah, there's a lot of wins. There's just a lot of wins, like in general. I know there's struggles, but there are loads of wins that I can't even possibly recount right now.
Mhm. No, I mean that's awesome. I mean, like a lot of times I feel like so many people focus on like all the negative things that happen, but they don't focus on the one small beautiful win that happens. And like I always tell people, like your win doesn't have to be the most ginormous win ever. Like it can be a small win of like getting a B on your exam. Like that's a perfect win. Like go buy yourself a cookie or something and celebrate. Like that's perfect. Or like I don't know, you score a goal or you like post a video. Just some like those things like may not seem like extravagant or grand to most people, but like if you feel like in your heart that that's a win for you, whether it's making friends or getting the job, that's a win, like in everybody's eyes. And to me, that's a huge win. So that's really cool that you guys have experienced those wins so far. So that's awesome. I'm proud
Yeah.
of you guys.
I really like that. I think it's like it's so important to try to find like little things in like every day that you're like, okay, like that went well, or like that was a good, like that was a highlight. Like roses and thorns, like I love doing that with like my friends on like camping trips and stuff, but also like Thanksgiving, just like times where you're like reflecting. And yeah, I think it's fun to hear like people's roses, like, I had a really good bagel today, like things like that. And it's like, yeah, like, hell yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like the going back to the same thing we talked about before, like having things to look forward to, whether it be like small or big. Like I used to, the school was right by the Dali Museum, so like after a hard day of class, I'd reward myself by going to the Dali and getting a cappuccino, and that'd be
Yes.
like my rose of the day.
So
Oh,
delicious.
that's
Mm.
I
Shout
don't
out
think
Dali Museum
Shout
because
out
they have
Dali
I've
Museum.
never
such
had their cappuccino there.
it's so
best best like really good
Really?
cappuccino. Like I don't know how they do it.
I don't
It's just
know.
it's just really good. And it comes with now it comes with that stick, and it
Yeah.
has like those the rocks, like sugared crystal rocks on it.
Yeah. It's like a stick with like crystallized sugar on it. Like that you just dunk it in the cappuccino and like swirl it around and it like kind of sweetens it. Or you can just like crunch on the stick and it's like
Hmm.
it's so good.
Satisfaction to the max.
Yes, just a little sweet treat, just a little reward.
No, I have to go over there because I went there a couple times. I've been to their coffee shop, but like I had to run into the dome, so I wasn't able to bring any beverages inside.
Mm.
But I definitely have to go next week when I'm there. But what's it called? Nayeli, I know you have to go pretty soon, so I wanted to ask you a question as well as Estella before we end this episode. I mean, it happens so quick, but I mean, you always say good conversations usually happen really quickly. But I wanted to kind of ask you guys something that you maybe have thought about at one point. Um, if you could tell your younger self one thing, what would you tell her?
Oh my gosh. That's like the whole like meeting my younger self for coffee thing. Like, oh, maybe just not to stress out so much about like the little things and just like enjoy things as they come to you. Like don't get caught up in thinking about like, oh, like this is gonna lead to that, and then like what happens after this, and like what am I doing like after that. Like just kind of like enjoy the present moment. Like I feel like a lot of people say that, but it's very true. Like, you know, the present moment is ever fleeting. Like it's always going away. So just like practicing mindfulness, little Nayeli, and do it more. Yeah.
I love that.
I would tell little Stella that you're not crazy. You just have ADHD. That's like my biggest thing. And like just tell her like you're doing awesome just cuz your brother. Oh, and don't compare yourself. Don't compare yourself to other people. Just cuz your brother is really good at math doesn't mean that you're really good at math. And that's okay.
Period.
I
That's
love
what I
that.
tell her.
I love that. And then one last thing before we all go. What is one thing that you guys want to share, one message you guys want to share with the audience, either watching this video that comes out or listening to this audio?
Just enjoy the ride, man. Livin. I don't know. Let me think of something better.
Life is a highway. I will ride it all night long.
If you're coming my way
Highway. I'm from all night
all night long. I think we lost the beat. Message to the viewers and the listeners. Support Anenka. Yeah, because she's great. And support yourself too. Support your friends. Tell your parents you love them. Because they deserve it, most likely. I mean, I don't know, but yeah, most likely.
Yeah. Dependent on your relationship with your parents or guardians.
Could be estranged. I don't
Could be
know.
estranged.
None
I
of my
don't know. But
business.
if there's a good one, or if maybe friends, also tell your friends that
Yeah.
you love them. And maybe grab a coffee with them or something.
I
Talk
think
to a
I'll eat
stranger. Talk to a stranger today.
that.
I love that. Well, thank you so much, guys, for sharing your insights, your struggles, your wins. I mean, your journey to self. I mean, you guys have been doing a good job from what it seems like to me. I mean, even if you guys feel like, oh my gosh, like I feel like I'm not going anywhere, like you guys are going somewhere. And I'm a firm believer that you guys will succeed in anything that you do, even when sometimes you don't feel like it. But I know I'm very, very firm believer that you guys will do just fine in life. So I'm very, very proud of you both, and just continue to just grow, continue to take time for yourself, take care of yourself, and just, yeah. It's good that you guys have each other too. You know what I mean? That's really important. So, yeah.
Yes. Thank you for having us on your
Yes,
podcast. It's
thank you
been
for having
so
us on your
fun.
podcast.
So
Sorry, I was
cool.
like dying of a laughter earlier. I don't know what possessed me.
It's
I
okay.
just couldn't. Earlier, I could not think of a single thing to say. So I was like,
uh,
uh, um.
But thank you guys so much for being on the episode. I will make sure to tag you both when the YouTube video comes out and the actual podcast and the little Instagram clips and
Yay.
everything. But have a great rest of your day. Take care. And if you guys have not seen this video, it's going to come out probably like in 2 weeks by now when I edit this, because like it takes some time. But when the video comes out, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, repost. If you feel like somebody needs to hear what they both have said, very inspiring things, send it over to them. Shoot them a text and be like, hey, I watched these two people, they're great, I'm going to send you some real inspiring words. Got you. So thank you guys so much for hopping on. I really appreciate it. I will see you both very, very soon. And yeah, guys, stay healthy, eat well, stay hydrated, be kind to people, and yeah. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. This is Thriving with Ananka. As always, take care of yourself, inspire people, and be kind. Thank you so much for tuning in, and as always, I will see you in the next one.